I heard it said once that 1 is the loneliest number. Not if you join our Discord. Welcome to Roll21. It's a good time where you can enjoy this wonderful, awesome community where we play some role-playing games and have a good old time. Time is of the essence. Let's get ready for the excitement in tonight's super cool thing. We're playing Dungeons & Dragons with a sci-fi twist. You saw the like and subscribe thing. That would make me happy. If you want to make me even happier, you can head on over to our merch store, buy some merch at roll21.com. That's a thing you can head over to. It's crazy. I don't feel like we're big enough for a website. Prove me wrong. Without further ado, let's get ready for tonight's episode of Orbit 21. Woohoo. I'm here with Andy. I'm here with Zane. I'm here with Ross. I'm here with Jackson. My name is Jaden, if I haven't already introduced myself at the beginning of every episode. But I'm excited. So, the team, suspecting Owl's presence, prepared for a confrontation. To evade surveillance, Jovthor ordered everyone to disable their comms. En route, they encountered guards and stopped them, when an explosion outside signaled imminent danger. Intensifying as they reached the bottom of the descending staircase, they faced Mecha Owl, a towering, heavily armored robot under Owl's control. A fierce battle erupted, and despite their efforts, Mecha Owl proved formidable, and Scott suffered serious damage in his struggle. In a desperate move, Scott managed to gain partial control of a Mecha Owl and used it to combat the other Mecha Owls that emerged upon each one slain. The team assisted with the ship's weapons, and after a grueling fight, they successfully destroyed the final Mecha Owl, forcing Owl to retreat. Post-battle, the team regrouped on the ship, and they probed memory about Owl's origins, speculating that Owl might view his actions as a means to potentially save humanity, even at the cost of lives. With this disturbing theory in mind, the group set their sights on ORB-1, I believe, but of course are of their own volition, preparing for what could be their final showdown. All right, guys. So you're all on the ship, this big yellow banana. It is a stolen ship that was stolen from a stolen ship. You know, like you stole a stolen ship, if that makes sense. Because if you remember, the ship that they had was a customized ship that was stolen from a gang. And then that...
Liberated.
Yes.
Liberated.
And then your ship is then that gang ship. So it's a stolen ship. Anyway.
Yes.
You're now standing in it, the four of you, a robot, a simian, a human who always wears a helmet, and a man who's too cold for his own good. And a memory who has... She's connected to a bunch of wires.
She's kind of a combination of us all.
She's a cyborg. But yes, what do you do? I will say that in the midst of the terror of flying away and all the things that are going on, the police make their way to the foundry. All the first responders careful to, help the people on the fringes of the dangerous zone that you now left. So you guys are relatively free to explore the other parts of the city, or head straight to ORB-1 following the warnings.
Well, we need to find a place to hide the ship. Did we turn on our invisibility as we were leaving to not be tracked? I don't remember.
Do we have any visibility left?
Yes, because I don't think we had used any during the 24 hours previously.
No, we hadn't, because we were going over, and no one had seen our ship come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think we should still have it all.
Okay. Then I think just for safety reasons, and since police are kind of coming more towards this area, have it on for a minute or so, just to get us far enough away and get us slow enough that we can find a place to land the ship, and just figure out what we're going to be doing next. Jovthor is going to say, guys, I'm pretty sure that we know that Owl's at the ORB-1. That it's the only place where it's powerful enough, with a powerful enough signal to do everything that he has needed to do. So we're going to need to go in there and try and figure it out. Figure out where he is and see what we can do to either better understand him or stop him, or, if need be, join him for helping protect the galaxy. Or at least the solar system.
Last I checked, joining someone that wanted to kill us never ended well.
I mean, yes, I completely agree, but if his algorithm, for which he is named after, is prompting him to save the solar system, maybe we can use the logic to make it so he doesn't kill us in the process of that.
That's something for the other tech wizard. That's above my pay grade.
You point and shoot, we'll do the brain power.
So you guys have just emerged, left from the Red Plains Tech Hub. There is the Radiological Institute on Earth. There's another medical center. There's, of course, places to lay low. As you now have realized, if you make up that there's a spot, I will attack you with gangs. So...
I mean, we could just go back to Christians.
No, because we
Sort of a crime scene.
yes, it's a active crime scene from the big battle. So
Like yesterday.
so places to go.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
they clean up stuff
They
quickly.
are fast. That's
I mean-
true.
Radiological Institute, Medical Center, or B1 or other place. So this is out of character. What we could do is we could go to the medical center to hopefully maybe connect back with the lady that we befriended there, have her hide our ship there, and then kind of use that as our base to recon ORB1 and I'm just thinking out loud.
I was also thinking that. However, I don't know if she's here.
We could at least make contact. We can tell people to contact her so that she could tell them what to do for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Zane?
I'm taking a long rest.
I'm asking Zane,
I
not
agree.
Scott.
How long is it going to take how long does it take to get there?
All right.
My long rest is only 4 hours.
Realize that. However,
All right.
ship is fast.
Yes.
I'm with you on the long rest, though.
Right. All right. So, do either of you guys have any disagreement with going to the medical center, landing there, talking with... one second. Let me pull my notes out.
We can try to. I know she is on Mars, though.
Well, she was. It's
point.
been a few.
We'll find out.
It's been a few weeks since we.
All right,
last
we're going to
saw
the medical
her.
center.
Yes. Nina Solara.
Yes.
That's who.
Yes, she
Yep.
was the renowned medic and specialist in the rare conditions that she had been working on in regards to similar phenomenon as Kane's superpowers. If you
Yes,
recall.
She does move around on the inner gap, so who's to say?
Yes.
Maybe she is there.
All right. Anyone oppose this? Going once.
Go for it.
This is. I'm sorry. Okay, so back in Jovthor's like.
Maybe we'll find more friends.
I hope not.
I really hope not, Kane. Last time we met one of your friends, I almost got eaten by a T-Rex.
Yeah.
No, don't smile. I still have nightmares about that.
If it makes you feel any better, you're my best friends that I haven't repressed.
Thank you. Yeah, Ewan, get us to the medical center.
You got it.
All right, so there is a sort of a parking lot outside a hospital, as there would be. Or you guys can choose to land on the rooftop. Which would you rather choose?
I'm going to say parking lot.
Okay, so you head to the parking lot. This particular hospital is a very, very tall building with a very long platform that sticks out the side of it that allows you to rest many ships. There's both a sky deck and a ground deck, and you land your ships along sky traffic and are along the massive platform that now doubles as a parking lot. So you guys land 3/4 of the way up the building, and now rest amongst many different ships of your various sizes.
Cool.
I would assume that we're probably one of the larger ships.
You are,
Yeah. Okay.
That are, here.
Yeah. But yes, that are.
because you are a transport vessel. So.
Right.
So there's no capital ships. Got it.
No, there's not going to
Okay.
be like cruisers, like that type of not like
Would
a
not
battleship sized
fit
ship here.
All right. So, it sounds like Scott is doing his. He's resting, so we're gonna
Charging.
We could all rest
Charging.
in the parking lot.
leave.
You could potentially rest here if you'd like to.
Okay.
I would not mind getting health points back.
Yes. Okay. Then let's go ahead and. Do we want to do a full rest or?
At some point, I'd like to.
Okay.
I mean, if you spent 8 hours in a parking lot, like I'm sure it's not a problem.
We're gonna
Okay.
find out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the
Sure.
DM.
Yep. Let's
Well,
do
I mean, I'm just for the sake of like understanding that like it's a hospital. Like I'm sure that there are many a divorced parent that have swapped their children in a parking lot such as this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you got to meet halfway somewhere, and the hospital's as good as any. So
Okay.
Tailgating the big game. What are you talking about?
All right. Sounds good. Let's do a full rest
Radiological
here.
Institute.
it is not a radiological institute.
Is it not?
This is the
Medical
medical
center.
center.
Medical, whatever.
Yeah, this is the Solara
Whatever.
Medical Center.
I can see the confusion. You're fine.
So you've all rested, I'm assuming now.
Well,
Or unless
yes.
I
would
decide to
like
interrupt
to.
you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
All right. So
yes, but
tempting.
I am going to do something during this long
okay,
rest, though.
what is it that you are doing?
I'm going to be from scratch making new communications, like new your words. So with that, how many credits are you going to have that be? Because I can only craft up to a certain level, but like a certain amount of credits per long rest.
Don't forget that I'm sure he's trying to make this closed circuit.
Yes, yeah, closed circuit, so that it's just within.
Might change the price.
Right. So, ideally, 5.
I'm going to say it
communication.
costs 20 credits per walkie-talkie.
Oh, perfect. I can do that then.
Wow.
Because I can do up to 200 credits per long rest.
Oh, cool.
Right now. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
it's
Yeah. So,
100 for the 5.
yes. So during that long rest, and I'm making
5?
5 secure.
Not 6?
What do we need 6 for?
Who's to say?
I mean, sure, having an extra wouldn't hurt, but I don't know why we would.
Sure. I'll make 6. I don't know why I'm making 6, but I'm making 6.
Joe Thor's in the back working on something.
Kane's
and
like, only 5?
Kane sees that you only have 5, pushes a couple of parts next to you, and walks away.
I think
Yeah.
I think next time Rupert Hayes
Shouldn't
follows
you
us,
make
we'll string
6?
it up like a Riddler's clue.
Okay. I'm making 6. I don't know why I'm making 6.
All right.
Okay. And then I will hand it to everyone so that.
So, in the midst of your resting and working, Scott, about halfway through, your rest concludes. What is it that you do by your lonesome?
I'd say Scott is just going to replay the events that have led up to this and just kind of reflect and analyze.
What's he looking for?
Just any clues that are missing, anything that's just doing an overall assessment. There's not been really time to sit and analyze like this.
So, if you recall your time spent within the body of this massive robot, feeling the surging power within you to demolish cities, I'm sure there's some bit of existentialism that enters your mind of being capable of such things as there would be anyone. But you're not just anyone. You're a robot. You're recently learning of your
Robot man.
conscience, essentially your conscious self. And so it's more than that for you, right? It's a piece of the puzzle. Why is it that you're able to access such things, and so is Al? And then it goes back to the conversations with Memory and her father, your creator. There's obviously something connected there. And you remember your early stages of life with your creator. What does that look like?
I mean, just like imagine Boston Dynamics, those Boston Dynamics videos you've seen where like he's just running around doing obstacle courses, testing out different attachments, and just completing tasks in a simulation like environment.
Can we put this memory in like the style of like the 50s?
Sure.
But still the Boston Dynamics.
It's just
Black and white.
There's a
shaky.
there is a
slideshows for
Really
part of
boring.
your memory.
For some reason you're in like suburbia and also doing the Boston Dynamics stuff.
There's a part of your memory that recalls being handed a weapon. This weapon is a beanbag shooting weapon to keep those around you safe. You now see a couple of other figures in the room, but they're fuzzied in your memory, and you only see your creator. And he hands you this weapon, and you have the urge to clean it. You have the urge to fix it. You have the urge to walk around the room like a Roomba, fixing all of the problems with the space. But then something about being handed this weapon sort of overrides that. And you're recognizing the confliction between destruction and you being a servant, a useful tool for those who would purchase you. And so the conclusion you come to, having surfed your memories, is that maybe Al's conflicted as well. And what he was made to do versus what he was designed to do.
Well, I think that makes sense. I think trying to figure out Al's motive through all this, since Al's basically the successor to me, and trying to extrapolate where Al would go wrong based on where I went wrong, and created the necessity for Al. So I don't think I probably don't get there.
Yeah,
in the
no,
time that it
I
takes,
think
but-
you get about as far as we just sort of got there. But I guess the question that lingers maybe in all of your minds is, what does he know that we don't know, right? Because there wouldn't be a cause for such danger, such hefty measure, if not for something that he knows. Some piece of data that he's lingering upon that's called for his dilemma.
I think while everyone's asleep, I'll access the communion.
Ooh.
You still have all three of your questions.
Oh, he knows.
Oh yes, he gets a yes, no, maybe, I believe.
Yes, no, error.
There's
Yes,
just
no, error.
Yeah.
Yes, no, error.
Yes, no, and does not compute.
So, Memory still has one. Joe Thor still has all three. Kane, you've asked all three of your questions. Scott has three, and Ewan has two more questions that you can ask.
Cool.
Thank you.
Based off of,
Your notes.
yeah.
All right, so Scott, you approach this computer database as you're all sitting in a parking lot. And I will say, with every close of a car door, every rush, every run, every person that moves around outside, you might be jumpy, maybe not, but that's happening. You see people moving around. And you recognize, though, that this connection, though, is secure. And that unless somebody was to run up to the ship, you need not worry. You're relatively private.
Well, my first question is going to be, is there a threat that encompasses all of humanity currently?
Oh, that's interesting. You asked the question, is there a threat that encompasses all of humanity?
that like a threat to the scope of the threat.
I see. Is there a threat that could theoretically affect the entirety of humanity? It's a very lofty question to ask something that is just ones and zeros. Being asked by something that's just ones and zeros.
Scott is more than just ones and zeros.
Is he though?
It's gonna be like global warming.
I mean,
Come on.
that was my first thought. I was going to say, there's
You see the foundry? We're already there.
I think the answer to this question is yes.
It's the friends you made along the way.
Or the threat that encompasses humanity.
I think you ask this question, and you ask this question differently than maybe Jovthor does.
Possible.
You type this question with ones and zeros. You don't ask part of the reason I allowed you to clarify your question in a way that I wouldn't have clarified with them is because you're not asking questions. You're communing these questions. You're engaged in a dialogue with this question. And so the question that the answer and of course is not just a yes. It's not just a yes, it's a feeling. It's an idea. It is a yes and. It is a feeling that there is more to what you've asked. A sort of nagging, wanting feeling.
All right, I'm gonna ask my second question.
Bam. 1, 2.
Is this threat human in origin?
You get what feels like the beginning of an error, like a clogged artery on its last pump before it stops. But instead, it forces that the answer is no. And the heart beats again.
Are we going for a threefer?
I mean, it's pretty friggin' dramatic.
Is this threat Al?
Is a threefer?
Ooh. That is a good question.
That is.
Very good question.
That is a good question.
And you retain your third question.
It doesn't answer.
It doesn't answer.
Interesting.
But it stares and blinks twice. Feeling like,
Twice.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it almost feels like, I guess for Scott, let's give a Scott analogy, because I can give you a human analogy, but let's give a Scott feeling. Scott,
Loaded silence.
it's like asking if it's ready to fire with one already in the chamber. Is the threat Scott? When you're asked, Scott, is the threat Al? But you've just asked Al.
Al's the communion?
Al just pled the fifth? What?
The communion just lifted the veil for a very brief moment.
I knew it.
And shut off the console.
And it shuts down.
How many of us were conscious for that?
I don't think any of us. I mean,
Aware of that? No.
Okay.
after Jovthor made the 6 for some reason, communicators.
You'll see. You'll all see.
Oh no. He zonked out. He got in his hammock down in the bay and just zonked out.
Down by the bay.
Down in the bay. Down by the bay.
Gotcha. So then, we're awake again, probably.
You are. You all awaken and you are in the parking lot of a hospital with you emerge into the main area where your seats are and where the ship would begin to start, and the computer device that enables you to commune, as well as look around at the nearby internet access. And you just see Scott sitting in the chair.
He always does that. So, did you guys want to go inside?
Morning, Scott. Yeah, I think we should go inside. But I think before we do that, we need to make at least a rough outline of what we're doing. So, we need to find Memory's dad, ideally. We think that he's at the ORB.
He's alive, right?
In theory.
Yeah. To the best of our knowledge, he is still alive. The rest of Memory's cohort does not seem to be alive.
According to the communion.
According to the communion, which...
Do you recall the name of Memory's father?
is somewhere in my notes.
His name is Leonard Leo Cray.
Yes.
Creator of Algorithm. And Scott. Or better known as SC-077X9.
So Memory and Scott are siblings.
If you want to be technical...
In the same way that C-3PO and Luke Skywalker
Where are you
are
going with
siblings.
this?
In the same way that you and your dog are siblings, yes.
Yeah.
What's your end game?
Just wanted to point it out.
What point are you trying to make here?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's see. All right, so we need to find Leo Cray, because if we can find him, then we can...
He'll solve everything.
No, won't solve everything, but we may have a better understanding of Al. We're pretty sure we know where Al is in ORB1. And then we need to get into ORB1 without dying, preferably. It will probably be me again.
Why would you be the one not dying?
No, the one dying.
Oh,
I'm usually the one that's dying.
If you die, walk it off.
a lot more sense.
You know, and it's... This is Ross. Joe Thor has the highest AC out of all of us. And yet he is always the one that's dying.
So you see there's two gentlemen in lab coats that emerge out the double doors into the hospital. And they both seem to be frustrated.
Should beat them up and take
Throwing their
clothes.
arms up in the air. One of them chucks a clipboard on the ground underneath a car. Doesn't even care.
Joe Thor's... he's going to walk close to them, just like walking up towards... Because they're coming out of the hospital, correct?
Yes, so
we're
you
out of the
exit
ship
your
now.
ship,
Right.
heading down the ramp, and then walk over in that direction.
Right. And Joe Thor is going to keep his ears... like opened, like, and trying to concentrate on what they're specifically saying.
I'm right with you.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, because I mean, Joe Thor has no reason to think that it's anything involved with us, but he's a curious guy, and as we're walking in, sure, yeah.
Being a simian, Joe Thor
Curious Joe Thor.
looks over and acknowledges the races of both of these gentlemen. One of them being a standard issue human being, and the other one being a green-skinned individual.
Okay.
Recognizing that his exit into the sun may be for a different reason than the other doctor.
Right. But they are communicating.
They are speaking
Okay,
to one another.
gotcha.
It seems that the regular old branded human being, he is the more frustrated of the two. The green individual, Joe Thor, you speculate, is likely out here to photosynthesize.
Right. And then, yeah, so he's just gonna listen in and not make it look like he's paying too much attention, but definitely with his ears focusing on them.
Arms crossed, leaning up against the nearest nonchalant post. I need you to
Check.
go ahead.
Roll for stealth?
Checking my data
I
pad.
actually just want him to give me a perception check.
I'm going to roll for stealth.
You'd like to sneak around.
Well, I'm being nonchalant now.
I see. Then
Okay.
make me a performance check, Kane, to be nonchalant.
So, could I do investigation?
That's a 3.
Okay.
Kane walks by these gentlemen in that of the fashion of Jar Jar Binks.
Loud whistling.
Noodly limbs. As nonchalant as you can get. Joe,
I'm not listening to
what did you roll?
I'm being nonchalant.
You said perception 6.
6. Jove Thor is a man of science and has been caught up in the yet still confusing phenomenon going on with the green-skinned man. And has lost track of what they were saying, despite having heard all of it. Did not retain a darn bit.
Can I have read their lips?
Scott, better than all of you, needs to roll a perception check.
My passive 17.
No, I know, but you're being chalant.
Nonchalant.
For the record, I did ask if it could be investigation instead of perception, but I get why. My investigation is so much better.
I think as soon as I try to read their lips, they eclipse my view.
What'd you roll?
3.
I'm also going to do what they are
You
failing
get
to do.
immediately distracted by the strange, noodly armed friend of yours. Walking in a very odd way, about to give away your position. It feels like if there was a heist going on, he'd have blown it.
Nonchalant.
I'm going to try to do what they failed at.
You see,
19.
You see as Kane holds an imaginary boombox as he walks by.
And you said that was perception?
I did.
plus wisdom.
Yeah. And I'm proficient in it.
You are.
So that's 26.
Before you all have a moment to piece together what he's saying, the conversation concludes and they walk inside. And that is when Ewan comes up to you all and acknowledges that he had caught what they were speaking about. And says that the angry, paler human seemed to be frustrated because his research in genetic evolution and ancient DNA splicing is no longer in the system, and no one in upper management is willing to acknowledge their mistake.
That's why I never worked in an office.
Okay. Jofthor is going to find that very interesting, both on the technological side of the computer system and also as a being who is the result of genetic testing. Yeah, he's just going to find that interesting.
What are the current variants of humans?
The current variants of humans.
The exhaustive list.
I believe there are,
Categories?
if I remember from our
Your pre-game.
planning, yeah, there are 4. We have normal humans, we have simians, we have Kane's variant, which is temperature resistant, and just kind of a hardier human being. We have a plant variant, which they're either resistant or immune to poison, can photosynthesize.
We essentially
And-
had some form of Wookiee at one point.
Did we?
Like a furry person? I think that's
Yeah.
what a simian is.
Well, no, I thought you had another variant of...
Like a bear person?
Yeah,
Or-
something like that.
might
I
be
do
wrong.
recall that we had
Sasquatch?
5.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember what the 5th one
The
is.
5 was just like a stronger human.
Oh, wait,
A
was
more-
there a reptile human?
was a no. There's the photosynthesized. There's the human that's more efficient and better in heavier gravity.
Okay.
There's the Earth human. I think part of the reason you're getting confused is because there was simultaneously cyborg as well as robot.
Oh, okay. That's probably what I'm thinking.
So there's 5 in terms of genetic options.
Okay.
There's the 4 we mentioned: him, you, human, photosynthesize, and then the more prepared for better gravity.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Just couldn't remember.
Yeah, better. From a scientific perspective, it's technically better because there's more of it. Anyway,
Okay,
so you asked the
cool.
question, what was that for?
Just to distinguish whether or not that would be an unusual statement. Like the fact
yeah.
that they're talking about research on...
Unlike the genetic testing. It may be odd. But I think Jove Thor is right in his feelings due to his species and the nature of devolution versus evolution. If you recall, his species had even two distinctions, which is the humanoids that were devolved and then the monkeys that were evolved, making up the same subspecies of human.
Yep.
I'm just making more notes. All right, cool. Well, all right. Well, Jove Thor will find that very interesting. Look to see if anyone wants to do anything else, and then lead the way.
Go inside and talk to people.
Yes, go inside and see what we see inside, and look for a desk.
Maybe we'll find more friends.
No,
Maybe. Let's hope.
don't want to do that.
Not your friends. I want to find my friends. I don't want to find your friends.
He has no friends.
You immediately are greeted by a hologrammed female, reminiscent of Nina Solara, who, in her ponytailed look, but now a blue coloration, waves at you and welcomes you to the Solara Medical Center, Earth. And says, "May I please help you?"
Yes. We would like to know if your CEO, Madame Solara, is currently in the building or on the campus of this hospital.
Oh, I want you to roll a d4. On a 1, her answer is yes.
A 4.
She says, "I am unaware."
All right. In that case, via your internal messaging system, can you send her a message telling her that her friends from Mars are currently at this location and would like to meet with her?
You get what looks like a puzzled look from this hologram. It would be reminiscent of the loading screen, if you will. And this computered person that's way less sophisticated than that of Scott finally answers after what seems like too long and says, "Will you be in need of medical help?"
Are we?
Not yet.
"I see. Are you in need of psych evaluation? Floor 32.
So floor
Why are you
32
looking
then?
at me?
Where are the stairs? Wait.
Shall your friends answer for you? Are you at liberty to answer your own questions?"
Yes, I can answer my own questions.
Am I at liberty to answer my own questions?
Blink twice if you're out.
Can that be a perception check?
I don't think you can insight such a sophisticated piece of machinery.
Jove Thor internally will be very frustrated because he knows that AI systems could be a lot more useful and helpful than this one is currently being.
It's like trying to move a mouse with an Etch-a-Sketch controller.
Exactly. And he acknowledges that. And he's
Try
just
to remote
frustrated.
hack while he's having this conversation.
You're going to try to remote hack the...
She seems like she's hiding something.
I see. Go ahead and try and roll a data check, please.
I think that she is just a dumb piece of technology.
I think she's just a call bot.
Oh, if
While they're doing
Scott's
that,
going in the mainframe.
while they're doing that, I'm gonna re-ask Jove Thor's question, but throw like Band-Aid and like paper cut in there, see if that does anything.
What does that mean?
Hold on, Scott.
Said medical.
He says, she says to you in response, Ewan, she says, "Your symptoms do not seem to be requiring severe medical attention. Please exit the doors behind you." And Scott
What do his symptoms seem to?
14.
Scott he flips up his wrist computer and begins to type along the screen. And in a simple hack, you have hospital records. You start scrolling through the thousands of humans and humanoids that have been through this facility. And if she was hiding something, it'd be difficult to know what.
Is Tobin Kell in any of the records?
Is Tobin Kell in any of the records? That's interesting.
Wrong name, but
No,
sure,
I
let's
think
check.
it's right. It's a great question.
It's a
Fantastic question.
because like an episode or two ago, wasn't it implied that he was alive?
Or 2, more like 10.
You
He
see
helps
a
with creation of Al. I believe.
you
I don't
see
think he's
a
alive.
record of more than 5 Tobin Kells with the same DNA in the system.
Log that note. Is Leonard Cray in the system?
Ooh.
There is no Leo Cray in the system. There is no Cray in the system.
Is
How about
there,
Rupert Hayes?
is there any super like abnormal, standout-ish things that people have been treated for? That would-
Things that people have been treated for. So there is a folder of you like organized by treatment, right? And organized by doctor is probably the better way to get you there, because then the specialists were able to do their work and how they would access their patients. And you see that one of the specialists has a folder specifically dedicated to hospital-induced like issues, meaning that they came in for one thing, then the hospital did something, and then he treats them when the hospital does something.
Interesting.
And that man's folder stands out to you.
This is a very much breaking all HIPAA laws. Just saying that he was able to get in.
What he's doing?
Yes,
Oh, yes.
what he's doing.
He's doing
It's
something
breaking
horrible.
All of HIPAA laws and electronic medical.
He is a
records.
We
HIPAA
abolished that in
potamus.
2147.
He is out here.
Just saying. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Read the folder.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to see,
Do
it.
What
So-
is he treating them for?
Read
So,
it.
so
Are
I'm
they experimenting on them or something?
While he's doing all this, I'm still arguing. Trying,
Oh, yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, I'm arguing with the AI, trying to get her to contact. Oh, wait,
She's
send
like,
a message to
say a response.
So she
customer service.
she is going to either retrieve you a nurse or direct you to a location. That is what you realized.
But it'll take 15
this
more
interaction.
minutes.
He's a glorified phone tree.
Scott clicks this folder, and his 14 doesn't allow him any farther. Meaning, you do
Access
not
denied.
you did not bypass that, and you recognize that any more significant effort would allow you within. But in this current remote hack, you're gonna struggle.
Well, then for now, I'll just kind of close my data connection.
Did you download this data, or are you just accessing this data?
You're just accessing it. Any sort of download would require another roll.
I have a memory of the data I read.
Yeah, you remember what you read.
right. I'm just thinking for Jovthor's own.
What's that doctor's name?
Speaking of which, is Memory with us?
I actually have his name. It's going to take me a while. I got to go through some records real quick.
I think we left her on the chat.
With your super special comms?
Plus the extra one, which I
You don't have that?
We didn't take those out with us.
No, well, no. We all 4 of us have the one. Memory has one, and we have the extra one
Oh, I see.
that I was induced.
Well, who has that?
Okay.
Yes,
Sure.
Dr.
Joe Thor will
Gabriel.
have it.
There we go.
Dr. Gabriel. I still want to know why you want me to
Dr.
have
Gabriel.
One might break. Having a spare, just like tires, is not always a bad thing. Hey, look at me. I save screws from every water heater.
We'll
Right
see
now.
who has the higher wisdom score
Gabriel,
after this.
the archangel, the messenger angel. of God.
I know. I know you have the higher wisdom score.
Is he a surgeon?
Doctor.
He is a surgeon.
Because, I mean, he probably put that name in himself.
Has funky.
He's
I've heard
he's
things
a-
about surgeons.
He's an interesting doctor. We'll just say.
Yeah,
Remember
sir.
Brandon's shirt?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got this guy. This guy is not. I will say that he treats in terms of just like sheer number of patients. Scott does a very quick computation, and he treats well below his capacity.
Okay.
Okay.
Meaning he's not seeing as many patients as required for him. It's not the thing you're about to say.
And you said
Does he walk with a cane?
No, he does
Have
not.
a Vicodin problem.
He does not. He is not Dr. House.
I'm glad someone said it.
No, he is not. But as soon as you get into doctor drama, you have 3 options. You have, do they have sex in all the break rooms?
And the answer is yes.
Is one of them Sherlock Holmes?
The answer probably no.
Or
Are they the black sassy doctor?
yes, or the black sassy doctor. What kind of sitcom is this? Right?
All right. Sorry. You're just watching House right now, so I was like,
I know, but that's not my source of or this has been around since a minute.
okay.
Scrubs are Grey's Anatomy here.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Gabriel.
You said Tobin Kell, just for my notes.
Yes.
There's been like 5 instances.
There's 5 entries for Tobin Kell, all of which have the same DNA, but all of them, the way that it works though, is that you recognize that some of the dates overlap, and he's being treated in separate rooms at the same time.
Okay. Different medical record numbers. 5 unique individuals.
5 unique individuals.
Okay.
Seemingly.
Some of them overlap in time.
He can time travel.
It would appear that Tobin Kell is still alive.
Now, you dumb piece of tech. What?
What?
Hold on.
I have
Soup man?
I have at least 5 different entries here, and I just tell them what I found.
I say he's more lasagna rather than soup.
Yeah, one
Front of the chat bot?
puddle.
Okay. Well, Miss Receptionist, you have been not helpful at all. We are gonna go find someone who can help us. Thank you.
Have a lovely day. You don't need your mask anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Not for the past 500
So,
years.
So I take off my holographic mustache, though?
I still forget that you have that. So Joe Thor is just gonna walk.
Holographic mustache.
He's gonna walk past her, like
Episode
farther
3?
into the lobby.
Yeah, you walk into the lobby.
Yeah.
And
follow.
You recognize there are people moving about. It's a hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the patients,
yeah.
it's nurses, it's doctors, it's surgeons, it's staff, it's lawyers,
Janitorial
it's
people.
everybody.
So, floor 32, was it?
Yeah, for Ewan.
No.
Hey,
Can't be serious.
all I'm gonna say is I think that you would benefit from some psychotherapy. You know, talk about your problems. Talk about your mother, probably.
I don't talk about my problems. I shoot them out.
They can't make
And
the
that
thing go
is
away.
why you need to talk about your problems.
No.
Violence is
While they're having this discussion, I'm going to real quick just pull the lady back up and be like, where's Dr. Gabriel's office?
She says, "Would you like me to get Dr. Gabriel?"
No, thank you. I need to know where his patients go. For inpatient.
You're given the question
his
of
clinic.
Your family status in relation to his current patient.
I'm here to assist the doctor as one of his medical androids.
She changes her tone and says, "Factor authentication. Code."
Heck.
Okay, go ahead and roll a data check.
All right.
But no, I don't need therapy.
Yes,
should
you do.
Should you fail this, there will be a consequence.
I'm sure. Well, yeah. Well,
Don't worry. No matter how much you say, it won't make the pain go away.
How many people have I killed in our journey together that hasn't been completely
Sounds like we'll just-
somehow justified?
At least
kill
5.
Just roll it.
we'll just kill our way.
I was
to Dr.
protecting
Gabriel.
us.
No. At least 5 of those people did not need to die.
Well, you know what? They're snitches get stitches. What can I
They
say?
weren't gonna snitch.
And it won't make you any
15.
warmer
15.
either.
15 is not bad. 15 is better than 14. And after going through, you attempt to access that folder.
I was crazy once.
You push and you get a very brief glimpse of his folder, and it just starts to go, and you just see a scroll of text. All of it very confusing.
Terms and conditions.
In terms of just like a lot of different I don't know medical terminology enough, but it's like he had just very long worded diseases and all these different things, and you're looking for the specific current patient, and there's just too much information to go through, and so you panic and say, I'm his brother. And she says, the brother of the patient. And you get a chance to now bluff. You are partially succeeding. So if you'd like to roll me a deception check.
Have we noticed that Scott's
I can try
behind us?
No, we're having a very deep conversation here.
I'm trying to convince you
With a
that
fif-
you
yeah,
have problems.
with a 15, you've earned the chance to succeed. But should you fail this time, I am going to
I'll do a hand roll this time.
Here's the deal.
involve the
I'll
the
consider it
Yeah, get escorted out.
if I can get you to make an independent AI for me.
22.
22. So Scott,
Okay.
That I can summon as a mini hologram.
We'll work on that.
you hear the communicator bot say, "The nurse is on her way."
Whoa, wait, what? Why isn't
What
it?
nurse?
How did you get her to get your medical personnel?
Yeah, she just told us to go to the floor.
What did you say to her?
Ewan,
What?
you need to pretend to be this patient's brother.
Probably sweet talk.
Okay,
Please say as little as possible.
I already do.
No, less than that.
No murderous intent, please.
He's gonna put the knife back in the sheath.
Okay.
Okay.
Get kicked out.
And you see, eventually a nurse wearing scrubs arrives. She has gloves pulled over her sleeves, and is wearing a mask.
What kind of mask?
Oh, interesting. Is she like full? Like is she fully suited up, like fully
She's
covered?
not scrubbed in. If
Well,
for surgery is the
right,
vibe.
right, not scrubbed in, but like hazmat or like
She
infectious
holds
disease.
her hands towards her in an upright fashion, like this.
Oh, okay.
Why does she have a mask on? You said we don't need those anymore.
She was doing some sort of
Jesus.
research.
I'm being funny.
And she looks to Kane and says,
There you go.
"Are you related to the patient?
Yes.
Go ahead and have a deception check with advantage."
Because she's already expecting you to say yes.
She is expecting you to say yes.
13.
A 13, a 10 in my head is, you look like the brother of the patient, you're the same race, come on.
Yeah.
Like, so you are, I don't want to say dragged, but you are escorted to one of the floors. You guys hop over towards an elevator, and she has her hands and says, she says, "Can one of you hit the basement, please?"
Joe throw will press it, and then he asks,
How many buttons are there?
1005.
he's gonna make sure that before
Scott rubs his hands on every button.
buddy. He's gonna
Getting to the basement too, and you're like halfway up the building, so you're like on 501 or something
I
crazy.
don't actually do that.
It's every button except 32.
Ding.
no, it's like this one just clarifying because there's a bunch of them. Looking at her and ask, clarifying is the right one. Basement.
And she says, "Are all of you related?"
Yes.
Family friends.
Yes.
I say with a negative one.
They're my
charisma.
friends.
I'm sorry to say, but only familial.
Adopted family.
They're my familiars.
We were all
I'm gonna need you to persuade her. I'm gonna need you to push her this way. So go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
we were all in foster care
I give him
together.
advantage
How?
Good question.
by adding in some BS.
I mean, I said I was related.
Like a
but I don't know
hype
if
man.
you want me to roll for that or
Because
not.
he can pull off.
He's wearing a helmet,
Because he's wearing a helmet. He
but obviously
can't.
he is
But
blue skinned.
But Simeon can't.
No, he's not gonna be able to.
I can be property. So
But he's gonna try a persuasion check.
okay.
Should he fail, it will just be Kane that goes to the basement.
17.
17. What do you guys think? I'll open it to the floor.
Wait, was it persuasion?
Yes.
I mean,
Still 17.
the way that you said earlier, you said a 10. You expect it to work.
A 10 is a doable thing.
Yeah, 10's a doable thing, and then 15 that's a more difficult
Kind
thing.
of difficult thing to do.
This is more than 15, not 20. So
I'd say it depends on what her motives are. Like if she
That
has
depends on the
sinister
situation.
motives,
We
she has
don't know
ulterior
yet.
She doesn't
motives.
seem sinister.
But if like this is restricted, then maybe it's a little harder.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I'm about to do. I don't think a 17 is going to work.
okay, how about this? Those three can go. Joe Thor will stay back because Ewan, they don't know what race he is. So
Here's what I'm going to give you with the 17. I'm going to be monster of the weekish. I'm going to give you this option. She looks at you and says, "You may bring one.
On what?
One of your familiars."
Small to take Scott.
that works.
I'm going to have to ask you to exit the elevator.
I mean, can I stealth in?
Oh, wait, we
As
haven't
they
moved
walk?
down yet?
She hasn't even pressed the button.
Oh, wait. I thought we were going to press the button.
You just hold on.
Go on.
I was gonna see if I could stealth in the elevator and just like hide while they're on their way there.
I would Jackson, hide from me right now. Nope. Try.
She just backs into the corner.
You can't see me.
Duck down. Okay.
Here,
now that
catch.
we've resolved that my answer is no,
He throws a flashbang in her face.
she reaches down.
concussion grenades.
She reaches down and presses the wall, and a little square slides over to the side, and she presses the basement button. The true basement button. And then it closes and then seals as if there was never a piece of the wall there anyway. Or whatever it is, button there.
Ooh, future.
Well, let's find another elevator.
All right, Joe Thor and Ewan will step off the elevator.
Yes, as they descend, what is it that the two of you now watching your friends go to who knows where do?
Okay. Well,
Can I describe the panel over our new con systems to them? The secret panel, silently.
Can Scott speak silently in his head on Jovthor's new comms system? If Jovthor spends 100 credits right now, the answer is yes.
okay, yeah, sure.
Cool.
I still have a good amount
Is that
Why does that
something?
cost him 100 credits?
because
that's-
the consequence.
because I can't give you yes in good faith.
Is that something I'd be able to do too with the suit?
No.
No, you're not a computer who can think out loud.
Okay, I'll pay you back.
You know what? I'll just take it from the group funds because our group funds are still at 3,016.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm not paying you back.
I didn't feel bad about stealing money from you guys.
No, yeah.
So Scott is able to communicate, but they cannot respond without verbally speaking. I mean, obviously they won't hear it comms-wise in your head.
Right.
And Kane, of course, probably has an earpiece in.
Ooh, secret button.
But if he was to speak, it would blow the out.
Right.
So what is it that you say, Scott, as you are descending?
At least in our elevator, there was a secret panel that she selected and then described where you said it was. And,
Yeah, underneath all the buttons.
and I described the way she touched it in her hand.
Ooh,
I said
that's
it's the button that she pressed to take us to our true destination.
interesting. So, based on her wearing gloves, it does not look like it's fingerprint specific or DNA specific. So we will investigate another elevator and we will follow. Keep us up to date on developments, and we will hopefully be along shortly to assist.
All right, so as you get to the bottom of this elevator, what feels like the bottom, it then goes down one more level. I mean, that's just the
Right,
basement.
yeah,
And then,
yeah,
of course, there's a settling, and then it goes down even more.
Yeah.
And as you emerge, you see another nurse, and he sort of just is awkwardly standing as he's pushing a cart. And then as he recognizes that there's a woman there dressed in similar garb, he continues to walk, almost weary that somebody has entered the area.
And how does he react to those two being down there with the nurse?
I will say that he acknowledges Kane's look, shakes his head, and then continues.
Okay.
So the two of you continue to walk, and as you continue to walk, Kane, you sort of get this like in your ear. Scott, you feel it as well. And then Jovthor and Ewan, you guys both feel this like...
Just a little staticky.
Yep, and they're continuing to go deeper. The static increases.
Gotcha. Scott, update. What's going on? It sounds like you're going pretty deep down.
So Scott regurgitates what I'm about to say. You guys continue to walk down these hallways, similar to the secret exit area of Solara Medical Center, if you recall, with the strange vault-like doors that had small singular windows. Scott, being the height that he is, just a bit taller than the average person, looks down in each room on his way. And Kane, of course, at casual glancing as well, interested, I'm sure. You guys catch note of the most interesting of this room, which is a person swimming in a large room, almost like they're a mermaid actress in an aquarium, except for the fact that when they breathe, their neck opens like gills. And then you see another person, he sort of like turns the corner, and as he turns, he has like big fly eyes. Right?
That's not creepy at all.
And then you see as all of those fly eyes, if you were on the other side of this glass, you'd hear as all of them blink and then open. Yeah, super gross. And
well, no, I was going to say flies like clean their eyes like that.
right. But in his case, all of those eyes just sort of blink like a wave.
I don't know if these are friends.
Have you been watching more Ninja Turtles?
No, I have not. That's funny, though. I know what you're talking about. The little kid with the big blue, what's his name? Yeah. Anyway, so you continue to go on, and as you continue to go on, there's a moment now where, Scott, you sort of stop, and the frequency of conversation is at its ultimate thinnest. And you understand that you probably will not be able to speak to them beyond this point. Do you say anything to them that would indicate as such?
Going radio silent.
All right. Good luck. We'll try and be down there as soon as we can.
And the separation. Moment. So the two of you on floor 501.
Joe Thor's just going to call for another elevator. And when it gets there...
Hit that down button.
Yeah, when it gets there, is it empty?
Ding! My voice just stopped. Opens up, a man with a cane walks out. Just being a turd at this point. No, it's Dr. Gray. She walks out, and the elevator is now empty.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. And then Joe Thor will, based on the directions that Scott gave, will try and open up the panel and see.
Go ahead and make a technology check with advantage.
Technology 25.
25. Easily enough, you're able to find the panel, and with a quick touch of your hands, it opens up, and you press the button. Mm-hmm. He presses the button, and you almost hear something that you didn't hear when you were out of the elevator. Is a sort of lock of the outer mechanism, understanding that this elevator now is not going to open on any of the floors, regardless of what you hit, other than the bottom one.
Gotcha.
So on the way down, your ears pop, as they would, and you head down. As these two continue to walk, Scott and Kane, and of course the nurse, up ahead is this man with a cart, this nurse, and he is turning the corner early, and you watch as he walks into a room filled with greenery. And then closes the door. You see the window, and as he closes the door, the window sort of is all that you see, with the greenery sort of peeling together and coalescing, and then a person stands there, made of vines, opens out their hands, and he puts a flower pot in their hand, and the person just dumps the dirt on their head.
So it's like a cultivation spray.
Very, yeah, sure. Very strange. This person made of plant life. And you continue down, following your nurse.
Arkham Asylum in here, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The nurse strikes up a bit of conversation. It's medical, and begins to update you on your quote-unquote brother. She says to you, Kane, she says, he's doing well, all things considered. We still haven't been able to get him out of his stasis. However, we do know that he's breathing.
That sounds good.
Yes, we do appreciate you taking the time to visit, but I just wanted to prepare you for the worst. How was your home? I understand it was quite difficult to scrape him out of there.
Well, I haven't been back there in a while.
Okay. Well, he's just around the corner. The doctor will be in shortly. But you're welcome to sit as long as you are escorted.
Okay.
Or come out of the room as long as you're escorted.
Okay.
And so she opens up this door that is a vault door, and she turns it, and it... and then pulls the large door to a crack, and allows you to go in. Do you?
Sure.
Luckily, it's
Does
the two
Scott?
of you. Scott, you do not have an issue with temperature. Neither do you. You see that there is a person here, a person with bluish skin, completely suspended in ice.
Mr. Freeze?
Huh.
He can breathe.
Well, that's interesting.
And you see all of these wires from the wall and machines connected, and what would have been a bed has been removed from the space. Just the back where the bed would connect to the wall remains. But he is a block of ice, like Aang and Avatar, basically the middle of that ice, but like in like a running pose. And his eyes are open, and his eyes move and flitter across the room to Scott and Kane. He cannot speak.
Hello.
He cannot speak. Greetings.
She
That'd be rude.
she puts the clipboard down and says, "Yes, the doctor will be in shortly," and walks out of the room. So you're alone with this man.
I'm gonna go stand by the door.
Inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. Scott, your vantage point where you are, you look up and you see a security camera in the end of the room. Like in the corner.
I wonder what would happen if we melted it.
Can you hard light needle the chips, electronic chips in that camera?
I glance at it and subtle spell.
Oh, I hate you. Yes, you do that. And he doesn't even move, and camera turns off. Ding! Elevator. Other end of this space. Emerging are two people in the basement. They should not be here.
All right, Ewan.
I look down the hallway.
No, you don't.
You're not in there. You're not seeing it. Just those two are
You're
down
in the
there.
vault.
Oh.
You're in the vault.
However,
in the vault.
immediately upon opening the elevator, that goes away.
Yep.
All right. Scott. Scott, can you read?
Yes.
All right. We're down in the basement. Where are you guys down here?
Did you count the rooms?
Can we say I did?
Sure.
I'm a robot.
I figured.
We're this many rooms, so many rooms down.
On the left.
Yeah, the giant painted number 12 on the wall, we'll say.
We're in,
Okay.
we're in room 12.
Okay. Gotcha.
Please hurry down here as quickly as you can. Try not to be seen.
Oh, not too.
Gotcha.
I mean, the doctor will be
You-
down eventually.
Ewan, take the lead. Let's go as fast as we can, but secure.
10-4.
Go ahead and make stealth checks.
Don't tell him to secure.
Okay, so you're both privately in this room with a frozen man within. What are you doing?
I wonder if we could talk to him somehow.
Is the door locked from the inside?
You can pull it closed, yes.
But can I lock people from getting in?
You see that there's a mechanism for locking, but a way to do that from this end.
No way to do it from this end?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
lock
could-
people in, not out.
Yes.
Okay. There's no electronic lock?
Not on the inside of this room.
Okay. Can I go to the outside real quick and try to be able to remote?
So you go to the outside of this room and you see that there is like a wall panel. And you see this wall panel is incredibly analog. There is a little space for you to connect as you struggle to find any sort of way of hacking into it without going in.
I'd
plugging.
like to connect and try and give myself like a garage door button access to it.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check before anything happens. What was your stealth checks, gentlemen?
18.
16.
18 and 16 is not bad. I am going to roll against you, as would be my
It's your prerogative.
prerogative.
Oh, you make the rules, so you can say anything.
I do, but I'm a fair gent.
Yes, you are, and we do appreciate it.
What was the bottom roll?
16.
16. Okay, so you guys move through the hallway, and Jothor is fairly quiet. Ewan, tactically, do you have a weapon in your hand?
Sure.
Does he have a weapon in his hand?
He moves through the hall, checking rooms.
there an
You guys
innocent person?
see similar things, of course, but the eye tracks different things.
Said secure the area.
As you acknowledge, I only described a handful of rooms. We'll say, Ewan, you notice that there is someone in one of these rooms that is made of rocks. Except for this person that is made of rocks is all pieced together, and you see that they are assembling and then disassembling. Like they are all individual pebbles with life as they coalesce and then decoalesce. And then Ewan, you recognize one of the scripts written on the wall. This person's name has not been translated properly.
You said Ewan, but you looked at...
Pardon me, Jothor.
Oh,
this
okay.
person, this name hasn't been translated properly. It's a name, when spoken, would be in your native language.
Okay.
It is written with the hand symbols, and has not been properly translated. And you see that this person is very, very large. This person has 4 arms, covered in fur, and is indeed a simian.
So like 4 arms from Ben 10.
Yes.
but
But
hairy.
a simian. Yeah.
Cool.
This person's very large.
Pictured 4-armed gorilla Grodd.
That works. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Very
probably
large.
better.
And so Scott, what did you roll?
I got 26.
26. Scott, you are able to initiate your hack. However, you hear the doctor in the distance, on his way down the hall. His shoes almost click, like an overconfidence coming from the other end of the room. You have enough time to hack briefly. Data check.
Data check.
Yep.
Data. 21.
Are you looking to lock this room?
I'm looking to be able to lock it from the inside.
I see. You pair yourself to it. And it's as simple as an on-off. However,
Pairing mode.
should you want to do any hacking, you will disengage the ability to do that. So should you want to do another data check, that will remove the ability to do what you've just done.
Okay.
From
Make
the
sense?
inside.
Sure. All right, and
So
I'll do
it's,
that.
it's engaged as long as you concentrate on it.
So then I'll go back in the room and
Yep.
I will stand completely still, like beside the door.
All right.
Like a good task bot.
Using
like it.
his passive.
Using his passive ability, if he doesn't move, no one notices him.
That's it.
So the doctor walks
Like
in.
a mannequin.
So
Yep.
I assume that we will see the
Yes,
down
you
the hallway.
see the doctor cross the hall. This doctor I don't want to describe him yet. It's
okay.
It's cool if
It's
I wait.
house.
Yeah. What? The doctor goes in. Well, I see someone, and I quietly say freeze to Ewan, and
On comms?
no, like I whisper this out loud, like freeze, and I like put my hand on his back, and
Would it help if we froze him more?
You say freeze.
No.
I barely above a whisper.
Okay.
Freeze.
You see Kane and Scott as the doctor stops in the doorway and turns his head ever so slightly, and you catch now that his nose is flat against his face, almost comes to a point up near his eyebrows. His eyes are sort of beatish, blackish, and he's got fur that sort of grows down from his face, and his ears are almost elongated and turn ever so slightly.
I'm going to say, Doctor?
And then he sort of almost lightly chirps and then looks down the hallway.
I'm in there, so the door.
I understand.
This is the guy
My
from that
man-
one thing.
My
isn't
man
it?
got high on his own supply.
And then he goes, nothing, sorry. And then walks into the room and says, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Doctor?
He's almost bat-like. As he wears his white lab coat, his face is very, like I said, bat-like. And you see his long fingernails gloved all the same. He says, yes, you are related to the patient. What is the reason for your visit?
Well, it appears to be a bit frozen. Is he alright?
He is doing better than before. We've managed to get the ice down to a reasonable level. We were worried about his suffocation, but as you can see, his chest cavity is increasing and it is rising and falling, as would be standard for someone not in ice.
I'm gonna radio while they're having this conversation. Get in here quick.
So, remind me again how he got in this position.
Yes, your mother called us saying that he was... Hold on. And he looks out there again.
Out the little porthole?
Out the porthole, yeah.
Joe Thor hasn't.
Doctor?
Joe Thor hasn't said anything.
I just hear wheezing.
Isn't that... Points at the guy on the ice.
No. He was all fine and dandy, as your mother said, until he sneezed. And then... here we are. His powers awoken by some sort of trauma. I would estimate that he maybe had a minor heart palpitation that led to his body reacting to near death. And awoken something within him.
Oh, haven't we all?
All right. I understand that insanity runs in the family. Have you been to floor 32?
I've heard it's well, anyways. Maybe later.
Do our boys show up yet?
They have permission to move. I'm just
Right. I mean, Ewan's in the lead. I'll let him do this.
How quiet is the jetpack?
I would say it's about
why I'm asking.
it's about as quiet.
why I'm asking.
It's about as quiet as hiding in an elevator.
So not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jackson, what do you mean? You're playing a normal human being with no superpowers.
It doesn't even make you faster.
This man hears you breathe. You're like, can I get away with a jetpack?
All right.
You gotta ask.
Ewan's in the lead. Joe Thor will just
Defer.
yes, he will defer to Ewan's judgment because he is not a military man.
Is there a good echo in this room?
It is
It's a metal tube.
it's a hospital hallway in like a cement lower foundation. So yes.
Okay.
I'm giving myself advantage on my
just-
perception checks to give you to give you the truth. It doesn't stack, but it's just
I'm just trying to think of how I
hospitals
can.
are echoey as is.
yeah.
I'm
This
just
is a
trying to think
quieter
of how I
space.
can throw them off.
I see.
So that was my best guess.
Are they like right next to the door?
I think a cat.
Yeah, they're
was.
like outside on the corner. We'll say.
Okay. Okay. Well then, I'll radio on my signal into the room, and then I'll just keep waiting to see where the conversation goes.
So, what's the plan from here on out?
I have not found a material hot enough to get him out of his icy state.
Oh, hot enough. Would radiation work?
I was concerned about the patient's ability to resist radiation,
Oh, yeah.
potentially heightening any sort of long-term issues they might have had leading up to this. I'm still not sure why his have been able to get in there, but from what we can read is that his heart is functioning at less than ideal. I'm worried that anything that I do to him may put him in a similar arrhythmia, and then we may lose him entirely.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
No, I'm willing to do anything should you sign here. And he walks over to the wall, grabs a clipboard, and says, as you are his relative, you can indeed speak for him.
Just can I glance through what the clipboard says?
Yeah, you just sign away his life, basically.
Oh.
You don't know this, man.
It's like the Facebook terms and conditions.
Like it's like a I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get this man out of ice.
This does not seem like good informed consent.
Is this like not normal ice then?
He is made of ice. Like, I mean, he's not made of ice, but like it's like a very, very cold substance. I would say go ahead and make a nature check, Scott.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a
The man who's
Liquid
not
nitrogen?
biological?
make a nature check.
Liquid nitrogen? That's
No.
been solidified? Solid nitrogen?
9.
would be
9.
pretty cool.
You can sort of see thermovision, right? You have thermovision.
Sure, yeah.
This ice is endothermic.
All right, to those of us that didn't go to college, what's that mean?
All ice is endothermic.
Correct. But beyond normalcy, meaning that it is absorbing the heat from the outside of itself, therefore making it cold. Now, ice is cold and it is endothermic, but in
It is absorbing heat, not
giving off some sort of frozenness.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it is not cold, it is absent heat.
yeah. Endothermic just means it's cold. It's colder than the surrounding environment.
Endothermic in the sense that it
Gotcha.
is absorbing heat dramatically.
Isn't that like all cold?
Yes, but in this case,
Except for like liquid nitrogen.
I'm trying to say that it is absorbing the heat
I,
in a crazy way. Like it's
It doesn't seem to be getting any
I-
warmer.
It can absorb a lot more heat than regular
than your
ice.
regular ice. Yes.
I'm picking up what you put down.
If you hit it with fire, it absorbs the fire rather than the fire putting out the thing.
So this is not normal ice.
Yes.
Okay. That's
With a 9, I just had I can't give you the answer with a 9, so I say this complicated thing and then hopefully you arrive
not
at
normal.
it. But you guys just can't let it go.
No.
So I'm gonna like look up from this clipboard, knowing the direction I'm facing, like look up at Scott or where Scott used to be. Try like make eye contact. Like, should I do it?
Scott's
Turn
gonna
off
just
some of these sounds.
nod his head.
Yeah, I don't see that. You have comms.
Oh, you don't see? I thought you said you looked at me.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I
What
can't speak without being heard.
Let's just say, let's see what he does.
Does the paper list what he'd do?
Oh, he's
Like
just,
when
Oh,
you're
wait,
going through it,
Does the paper say what his name is?
Yeah. The paper says his name is Dawson Kyler.
Do I know him?
Roll a d20.
You got it.
On I mean, the likelihood of you knowing somebody, I was
14.
No, I'm gonna say no. No.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, that was the first question I thought you should have asked when you went in. Like, if it's someone of your same species, like, is there a chance that you
No.
know him?
I think I'm gonna sign Brother Kyler.
Brother Kyler.
Okay. You write Kyler. It's a difficult name. It's Kyler, so it's kind of awkward. And when you get to the Y, you're like, E. Okay. You get there. And he says, he looks down at it, looks up at you, and goes, close enough. And puts the thing there, and goes.
So now what? Maybe he just hasn't had enough motivation to move.
I like where your thought is. I'm gonna have to ask you to exit the room, as I will be as well.
I'm going to have been. I want to say I've snuck up behind him
But where's the fun in that?
at this point.
Okay.
I don't want to get in a
Yep.
fight
Oh,
with
your
a
26
giant
stands.
26.
You're 26 from earlier. Yep.
And
You haven't,
then
you haven't used it to its fullest degree yet.
I'll just say, "Come in now," over the radio,
Okay.
and I'll wait and assume the door opens.
Yeah, the door is open.
Okay.
And he walks out.
was open?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't
behind
close
him.
the door yet.
Oh.
I'm behind him.
Yeah.
I tell these guys, "Come in now."
Yeah. And again, I'm deferring to you and
So we're coming in before he
I'll just
exits,
say it all out.
right?
Yeah, so
I
he's
say
about
for them
to
to come
exit.
in.
Let's move.
As soon as they come in, I close the door. I lock it. I grab his hands so that he doesn't radio or touch
Sure.
anything.
That's your plan.
Sure.
And that's my plan. And now we're going to interrogate this guy.
I see. Okay, so he's about to leave the room, and so because of the context, you just grab him, and then they come in very, very quickly, and then the door closes.
And I lock it.
And then he's like, "What is going on here?
What are you doing with these people?
I'm trying to help them."
Help them, you say.
Yes,
From what?
from themselves.
Why are they such abominations?
Why am I such an abomination? We're all trying to figure it out.
why are you such an abomination? Like Joe Thor's gonna add.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well,
Agreed.
I'm using the terminology he uses. It's respectful in the science community to use language that they
right.
are familiar with.
We're gonna play a mini game. Woo, man.
How many security guards are coming down?
Interrogation is a minigame now?
Interrogation is a mini game for this moment. Yes. Awesome. Interrogation is a mini game. You get, guess what? It is baseball rules. 3 strikes, 4 balls, and 1 chance to succeed.
What?
Okay.
You lost me at the 4 balls.
I don't know if that's the rules of baseball.
No. I see where you're going.
Should you fail your rolls, you get this many. Should you roll not enough, you get this many. But you get 1 really good chance of getting the information you want out of him. Now, the context is, as soon as you say something to him, that may count as a roll. If you decide, nope, we're going to keep our mouths shut and let the dice do the talking, you are welcome to play this game this way. Or you can choose to ask him questions, and those may count as strikes or balls, depending on which buttons you push on this man. But to get the information you need, there's only one way. And I have decided what he needs to hear to be allowed to respond. However, we're going to have to do it next week.
Oh, man.
I know. Now you know the rules of the game. It's very exciting. Thank you for hanging out with us. Head to our website, roll21.com. Like and subscribe. Listen to us on YouTube Music if you didn't enjoy this. But if you did, let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Roll to One.